Hi, good morning. Let's do some leg lifts to sit-ups to some bridges. So let's start out by lying face up with the knees bent. So make your way down and let's start out in a neutral alignment. So create some space under your low back. Both sit bones are down evenly, and I'm going to start on my right leg. So left sit bone is anchored, left heel is pressed into the floor, left ball of the foot, left toes are anchored down. My left knee is in line with my hip and shoulder, and it's going to stay like that throughout the exercise. I don't want the leg to flare out or come in. Your right leg is flexed, mouse house maintained, arms by your side, or you can keep them on your two bones, your ASIS. Chest is open, nose is pointing up. So everything is in space hold, everything is anchored. Flex your right foot, lift it up. I'm going to come up a little bit higher so that front survives. So everything in space hold, lift, flex your foot, lift it. Only lift it as high as you can keep your knee straight, because this is about co-contracting the hamstrings and the quads as well. So on the way down, point your foot and lower down. Flex as you lift. Point as you lower. Flex as you lift. Point as you lower. Remember keeping your left side stable. Don't flare your left knee. And don't lose your pelvic alignment or your spine. Flex and point. And now reverse. Point as you lift, flex as you lower. Point as you lift up, flex as you lower down. Two more. Point as you lift up, flex as you lower, and last one. Everything in space hold, only the leg is the one that's doing the work. And then point your foot, lift it up as high as you can, and you're going to rotate your knee in and out. Spine is unchanged, pelvis unchanged, chest is open, left heel is anchored, left butt is anchored, left knee in line with the pelvis, the hip, and the shoulder. After 4, bring the leg back down. Let's switch legs. Right heel down, right ball of the foot down, right toes down, right butt cheek is anchored, chest open, nose pointing up, arms either by your side or on your ASIS. Flex your left foot, lift it up as high as you can, knee stay straight, point as you lower. That's 1, flex and lift, point as you lower, flex and lift, point as you lower, last one, flex and lift, point as you lower. Now reverse, point as you lift, flex as you lower, right side is unchanged, point as you lift, flex as you lower. 2 more, point as you lift, flex as you lower, and last one, point and flex. Good. Now point the leg, lift it up, spine, pelvis unchanged, knees unchanged, hip unchanged. foot is anchored, rotate your left leg in and out. So the knee turns out and the knee turns back in. Just 4 times. After 4, bring the leg back down. Next, let's do some hamstring stretch. So straighten your left leg. Pull the right knee into the chest. Chest stays open. And keep your, you can also, of course, here you come into an imprint. Pull the knee into the chest and bend and straighten the knee a couple of times here. Straighten only as much as you can. Four, and bring it back down. And last one, you're going to straighten the knee as much as you can and point and flex the ankle 4 times. And then let's switch legs. So right leg stable, pull the left knee into the chest as much as you can, and then bend and straighten your left knee. Chest stays open. This is an isolated hamstring stretch. 3 and 4. And last one, keep it straight, point and flex the ankle. And then bring the leg back down. Let's do some upper body. So let's warm up the neck with a couple of chin tucks and then head lifts and then roll up. So chin tucks, sliding your nose down to the sternum or breastbone without lifting the head, and then sliding it back up. Let's do 4. Slide the nose down and back up. And 3. As you slide your nose down, don't let your shoulders roll forward. So the chest stays open. And last one. And next is head lifts. So everything is in space hold. Everything is anchored. Chest stays open. And just lift the head and lower it back down. So as you're lifting your head, don't let your shoulders roll forward. This is when you realize that your head is actually pretty heavy. And just lift it up. Don't let your shoulders roll forward. Come back down. And let's just do one more. So 4. Lift. Keep the shoulders down. Chest is open. And lower down. And the next, neck extensors. So we're just going to press our head into the floor. Hold it for 2 and 1. Same thing here, spine is unchanged. Press your head into the floor and rest. And 2 more. Don't let your shoulders change, just press the head. And then last one. Next, let's do some arm movements. So arms, palms facing each other. Let's do when we're rotating the arms. elbows out and in. So start out by facing either your palm towards your head or facing each other. And let's play with the elbow creases rotating towards each other. And then rotating them back towards your face. So the elbow crease drives the movement, not your palms. And try to keep your arms upright, so don't let your arms wobble to the side. You may feel that one side is a lot tighter than the other. Rotate it back up. And one last one. Elbow hairs face each other. Turn down towards your feet if you can. Arms are up. And then let's combine the head and the arm movements. You're going to lift the head, curl forward, and sit up as high as you can, as tall as you can. If you can sit up all the way, then you're straightening your spine, roll back up, look straight ahead. Imagine I'm right above you, pulling you up. On the way back, anchor your heels, anchor your butt, squeeze your inner thighs together, and take your time rolling down. So it's the low back to the mid back to the shoulder blades, and the head comes down last. And then lift your head and curl up as much as you can. If this is all you have, that's plenty. And then just roll back down. Over time, you will be able to build up that you are able to sit up. You just have to stay with it. The work works if you work it. You just have to work it. That's the hard part. 2 more. Head lift, head curls, sit up tall. Sit all the way up, come into your sit bones. Heels anchored, inner thighs squeezed together, butt anchored, roll down. Pelvis to low back, to mid back, to shoulder blade. Last one. Lift up, and then curl up. It's also good to talk while you're doing the work, because then you are ensuring that you are breathing. So it's hard to talk, but it's also good to talk. Last one. And then let's do some bridges. So bend the knees back in. Come down a little bit if you have to. And let's do some, because we start with stretching, let's do some single bridge. Leg is in figure 4. So I start with my right leg, right heel, right ball of the foot, right toes anchored, and both butt cheeks down evenly, even though that my leg is crossed over, palms down, chest is open, curl up, so pelvic tilt to bridge. Come up as high as you can. Squeeze the butt. The butt stays squeezed as you roll down. So mid back to low back to pelvis. And then here, let's bring the leg into the chest for a stretch. You can play with the left knee here. So bring it away from your shoulder and then bring it towards your shoulder again. You can also play with the right leg, bend and straighten the right knee. All changes the angle of the stretch, what fibers you're stretching. Bring the leg back down. Let's do one more. So heel press in, ball toes curl up. Lower down. Pull the knee into your chest. Play with left knee. Pull it away from the shoulder. Pull it back to the shoulder. And then straighten the right knee. And then bend it. This is one of my favorite exercises, bridge to stretch. And I always had chronic hamstring tightness, and this stretch when I'm bending and straightening the knee is the one that helped me the most with hamstring length. Bring the leg down and then switch side. So cross the right leg over, bridge up, lower down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Pull the knee into the chest. There's a lot of stretch on my right hip. And then left leg bends and straightens. You can also point and flex the ankle. Just never stops. The variety you just never run out of varieties here. Bend the knee back in. Bring the right knee away from the hip, from the shoulder. That's very crunchy. Bring the leg back down and one more on this side. Bridge up. And then lower down. Pull the knee into the chest. Play with the right knee. Here too, like the shoulders and the hips, one side is usually more tight than the other. So that side, just do an extra rep or a couple extra reps. And then bend and straighten the knee. Point and flex the ankle. Bend the knee back in and then lower down. Bring both knees into the chest for a low back stretch. And then let's make your way up to seated. And then let's finish with 5 deep breaths into the belly. So anchor your sit bones on the mat. I'm still sick. Hands on the knees, sit up tall. Deep breath in. And then long exhale out. Deep breath in. As you breathe in, lengthen up as well. And exhale. And then 3, deep breath in. Long exhale. And 4, deep breath in. Long exhale. And last one, 5, deep breath in. Sit up tall, sit evenly on the sit bones. And exhale. And have a good day. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow or whenever.